with yourself on the floor. When the man with the power and the dollar says you ain't worth a cent, and your wings won't fly and your words won't flow. You can't force a smile and they won't leave you alone. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. I know a woman with a lion's heart and a pretty blue dress with a shopping cart. Head full of dreams, gonna change the world. Got a body of work they say won't sell, and a way with words which she won't tell. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. We don't.
Yo, I need a drink. Welcome to Out of Pocket with Allie and Michelle. Thank you for joining us tonight. Oh,
my God.
wow.
How was your day? Listen, y'all, Allie just showed me a feature on my phone that I did not know I had, and it is a timer for pictures. So it counts down 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you have 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds.
This is a whole new. This is a new. A whole
If you
new world.
updated your phone from time to time, you need a new one.
Listen, sometimes those updates to phones though screw up with your phone.
I'm talking about a new.
Oh, a new
phone.
Okay, you're like the 15th person that's told me that. I know I need a new phone.
Man, it's just
I need a
easier to
new
operate.
crowdsource.
I know.
Kidding.
You can do it.
Welcome, guys. We're
Upgrade.
grateful. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you follow us on social media. Follow at Real Allie the J, at Michelle Posey on all social media platforms. And thank you, Talk Red, for
Yes.
God bless you. And we're grateful.
Oh, sorry. Late.
We have been having a good time here in the studio in the lead up to the show. We're grateful you guys joined us at our new time, 6 p.m. It was just too much. We figured we needed to let you get about your day and maybe end your day with us. I don't know.
The best shows are after 5 p.m.
Just saying. Well, we've got a whole lineup for you guys today, including talking about El Sayed. I said he sounds like the 14th hijacker.
That is not funny, but
It's
so
not
funny.
politically correct, but I don't care because he's a Democrat socialist and he's
He probably walks around and calls all white women Becky. So I really don't care if I mispronounce your name, sir.
Also, detransitioning, it is a thing. The CDC has officially called it. So
Nice.
it's pretty interesting. Plus, we're going to talk about Lindsay Clancy. Of course, this is the trial that is, it's on every social media platform. I'm sure everybody in your family has an opinion about it. So why not let the ladies talk about it, right?
That part, yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. Well,
I mean, it's gonna get pretty serious. Spicy, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and open that mic
and get out of pocket.
Two queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
Oh gosh. And we were back in the dressing room and we're getting ready for this episode and filling up our coffee and all the good things. And people are so patient with me. But can I just play just a little portion of this, Allie? Will you let me? Do you mind?
Sure.
In Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Is that on? You can't hear it?
Mm-mm.
Do you want me to sing it? No. No. It's Islands in the Stream from Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
I don't know why it won't pick up on your phone. Maybe because you need an upgrade.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
It was Islands in the Stream by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton in tribute to Dolly Parton. It makes me sad.
I know. I'm
And
sorry.
in my opinion, in my dating life, which is non-existent really, but you should have to know the other, like that should be able, we should be able to have a duet. That's going to be my litmus test going forward for dating.
If that's your boundary,
It is my boundary.
I
and it's
love
a
that
hard
for you.
boundary. If you can't Kenny Rogers it, you don't get my Dolly Parton. No,
okay, that was
Okay.
good.
I thought it was good.
That's good.
But speaking of singing, we've both done our fair share.
Oh
of
my gosh,
singing.
we have. I came across this video, and I think everybody can relate. Let's play it.
Okay.
When I'm with mommy, and then when I'm bad, you know what I'm about me. And then when I'm naughty, and then when I'm
Guilty. So many of you watching the show right now totally feel that because I mean, with the recent passing of Dolly, like I don't know all of her songs, but I do like some of them, and so I may not know all the words. Like this is even with like normal, like just
When
music
you're just
that's
singing
there,
Watermelon.
and you just like it, and yeah, so you're in the shower,
That's a great one.
not knowing all the song, on all the words to the song. That's
You don't have to.
perfect.
You don't have to know all all the words.
That was great. I love that so much.
Oh, that's cute. That's
So
cute.
if you can relate, drop a Kermit or a frog. Drop a frog in the comments.
A frog in the comments.
Drop a frog in the comments. Let us know. I love it. I love it when you guys interact with us. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel
Yes.
like you are
Well,
part of like the show.
listen,
I enjoy it.
it's the interactions with what we're talking about on the show. It's when y'all. It's there's our interactions that aren't
Whatever. I'm on
asked
mission.
for.
I'm on mission. I don't got time to argue with you or explain to you about nothing. Go ahead and believe what you want. Take it to your daddy. I don't care. I'm doing what I'm doing.
I love you, girl.
Mind your
I love
business.
you. Well, guys, I've got a lot we're going to talk about today in the show. Obviously, we've got.
What?
We never even talked about what we were going to talk about on the show.
I know, because we opened up with Kermit, and that was hilarious. Go ahead.
Today we're going to talk about Al Saeed, who we did say we think is the 14th hijacker.
Yeah, he did. That's
Okay,
hilarious.
I did. Detransitioning and obviously Lindsay Clancy. So we did talk about, I'm just, you changed
did.
our time and now like I've had 14 cups of coffee. So I don't know what is what
All
right
right,
now
let's just-
anymore.
First topic. Let's go.
First topic, Al Saeed. Okay, let's back up a little bit though. There is this guy, his name's Hassan Piker, that is kind of an influencer, I guess. I think he works on Al Saeed's campaign, although it was Jesse Waters was trying to get him to answer that the other night. But take a listen to what Hassan Piker did on stage. Again, they're talking about Charlie Kirk and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Take a look. What they're making fun of there is a church service and
Yeah, like backstories.
and they're doing like their gospel songs, making fun of our gospel songs, and also that martyrdom is considered laying down your life for your brother. They're mocking that, which is odd because don't they strap bombs to themselves? But whatever.
I mean,
Now I'm the one
raised
that's
murders,
inconsiderate.
right? So we're
Oh well. But I love Andrew Colvett posted this. He's from Turning Point USA, and he says, whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished, Proverbs 17:5. This comes on the heels of, I think there was another performance that was done where somebody had dressed up as Charlie Kirk in a
Yes.
white freedom shirt, got blood stains all over his neck. And
It
they're
was
like,
it's a
oh,
a drag queen like I don't want to say story hour, but it was a drag queen performance. I actually spoke about this on OAM with Dan Ball on Friday. And it was last Friday because we do Woke Fridays.
yeah.
And that was part of it. And I was just like so taken aback by that because they even imitate Erica in like such a horrible way.
Oh, yeah. A
Which
grieving
is
widow.
absolutely crazy. But I mean, was that the purpose of this like event, was to just completely make fun of?
Yeah, well, and as part of it, and I don't know if you remember, but Hassan Piker actually debated Charlie Kirk. I didn't include the clip, where Charlie Kirk is actually saying, "At least I live out what I say I believe. This is what you say you believe, and where's the evidence and the proof that you live by that? Because you don't live a life based on any kind of validation on that. So it's
Judging by the fruit. This is just, it is insane. I think I remember the last person that kind of mocked the Lord in that way. She was vaccinated, but she ended up
and she
like
fell out
she
on
fell
stage. Remember that?
completely. I do remember that.
I mean,
I think she was vaccinated.
it's a sign of the times, I guess, we live in. But the reason I bring him up first is that people were waiting when they saw Jesse Waters was going to interview on Fox. Abdul al-Sayed, who's the Democrat socialist that's running for office in the Senate House. Sorry, it's in Congress. And Senate. Thank you, Zach. And the reason why everybody was waiting for this interview is because, this guy al-Sayed is very charismatic in the sense that he reminds me a lot of like a Barack Obama or Mandami. No substance, none whatsoever. A smirk and a quick wit, and that's about it. And a way to
right, no substance.
No substance. Ladies, watch out for them. They're out there. So I people were waiting for him to denounce what this Piker guy had done and said on stage, and he said nobody speaks for me except for me and those in my campaign. So I guess that was his way of saying he doesn't agree with what he did on stage. But he did have this to say on Jesse Waters about ICE. Take a listen. Of course, he's running for Congress. See if you want this guy in Washington, D.C. Take a listen.
I know I don't agree with you on this. You want to abolish ICE. Who's going to deport the criminal aliens from the country?
Well, you and I both know that long before we ever had ICE, we had INS. We were able to enforce our immigration policies without shooting people in the face and the back of the head. And we just celebrated our 250th anniversary. That was an anniversary of throwing away tyranny. Now, to bring that tyranny back under the guise of the U.S. government itself, that seems to me to be inconsistent with the freedom you and I both love.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a dodge, Abdul.
They
did the same thing as ICE back then, INS. Do you know how many illegal aliens are in the country now?
They didn't shoot people in the face and the back of the head.
Do you know how many illegal aliens are in the country now?
To your point, Jesse, let me just answer the question. To your point,
how many do we have?
Far fewer when we had INS. To your answer, we had
exactly.
far fewer when we had
exactly.
INS. So
we now
arguably,
have,
INS worked a lot better.
Abdul, listen, we had twice as many illegals now when we had INS.
So to your argument,
you have to have the manpower to do it.
If you want to do that correlation, we have ICE now, and we have far, far more undocumented people. So ICE is clearly not working. It's just shooting like American citizens in the face and the back of the head. So
well,
if you're okay
illegals
with
are
that,
shooting people in the face
too.
too.
To disagree.
Abdul, you got a guy in Michigan.
So are American citizens.
You got a guy.
Think,
let me just say something, okay?
To get back to the conversation about the broader issues.
Okay.
Well, you cut me off, Jesse, and you said we're going to have a good conversation. So I'd like to do that. I just want to answer the point. When I travel the state, and I have traveled my state, more people are asking me about how they're going to afford their gas and groceries. They're not asking me about immigration.
Well,
now,
they also don't want to get molested. Abdul, you got a guy here from Southeast Asia, molested a kid. ICE just picked him up. You want that guy to stay in Michigan?
I'm glad that guy got picked up, but that's a different thing than saying that INS would not have picked him up. Jesse, you're too smart for this.
It's a bureaucratic game you're playing, and that's a dodge.
You point to him, you say,
you need guys to get these guys out of the country.
And therefore, ICE, we need ICE. I'm just saying, look, playing by your own rules. When we had INS, we had fewer people doing the things that you're talking about.
That's because Biden didn't blow open the border
back then when we had that.
All right. We can bring it back.
I think I know his tell. I would love to play poker with him.
Listen, this is the.
Sorry, they just picked it up. Watch it. Every time he lies, or every time he has something that he can't quite answer, he long blinks. Have you noticed that?
This is the part that really pisses me off. Your party left the border open
That part.
and flooded our country.
That part.
And now you want to, instead of taking issue with that, you want to take issue with the one bureaucrat in our government that's responsibility is to move that out of our streets. You think that because people have been shot, civilians have been shot, not because they're just minding their own business, because they're infringing upon federal officers. You're not supposed to do that in this country.
Threatening their lives.
Yes.
That is
so if you put your foot on a pedal of a minivan and aim it towards an officer, that's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end well for you. Sorry about that, but maybe pick up a different cause between 9 to 5 when your children are in school. Like, I don't know, getting a job. That's just me. I'm just saying, maybe you shouldn't use your car as a missile launched towards a federal officer. Maybe then you would still be alive. Yes.
Don't people in this nation just behead other people just because? For any reason? Like there has to
You want to talk about how the people, the
honor killings?
the IRGC has shot in the face, in the back of the head because of the freedom that we have in this country that they want in their country? But you come here to make it more like there?
Okay. Yeah, no.
Yes. You always. Well, and so what our producer's bringing in our ears is exactly right, that he did pivot to affordability. That's what they're always going to do in the build up to November. And they're going to blame the Middle East. They're going to blame what's happening in Iran. They're going to blame the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to blame a lot of things that dial back to Trump, basically, for affordability. Here's the thing. Affordability was non-existent during the Biden administration. So you want to talk about where it's at today. Maybe we don't like it. I would obviously love lower gas prices, but they are lower compared to what it was when we were under Democrat control.
And when you deport everyone who is here illegally, utilizing all of our resources that should be used for American citizens, supply and demand changes, doesn't it? So affordability things become more affordable when you get rid of the smoochers.
And INS may have done it prior to Biden.
Right.
Now you've got millions of illegals here.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about INS, they didn't try to do anything about helping the fact that we don't want illegals to vote in our elections. So maybe we need a new bureaucracy that strictly goes after those who are trying to fraudulently vote in our elections. I mean, he brings a very good point. You can name the 3 letters, whatever you want. FU, whatever. We'll find something that we can name it. But this guy he's
a nuisance.
So it's very difficult for me to listen to him because he will not answer the question.
Nope.
He speaks over the person who's trying to ask him the question.
Narcissist.
And ever marry one? It's not fun. Okay. Let's also, there's another, oh my God, he went there. He talked about circumcisions.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
He's trying to compare.
Just play it. Just play it and we'll talk about it.
The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor,
you want to try on kids?
Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that healthcare decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents and a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But you want to put government inside.
So Abdul, you're a doctor, right?
Selectively. I am.
So you think it's okay for a parent to slash his kid's ding-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a
Jesse,
personal question.
Okay,
doctor.
So you probably should want to move on.
Is circumcision's different than castration?
I think it's a problem. It's a problem that you think that you get to decide what happens between a parent, a doctor, and a patient. And I'm just saying that, yes, circumcision is surgery on a kid's ding-a-ling. So if you really want to bring that up, you can. I just think you guys are really selective about how you want to talk about these things.
Abdul, Michigan's not going for that. That is sick stuff.
What on earth? Wow. Okay.
Listen. Coming from somebody who believes in a religion and a book that is in a region where they mutilate women so that sex is not pleasurable to them, and marries off 6-year-old little girls because these men can't get real women, and then covers their women with a garment from head to toe because they can't keep a woman. They have to keep her like hidden behind draperies. I don't want to hear him talk about foreskin removal, which is something that's from Christian and Jewish faith traditions. If you can't understand the difference between a minor procedure that's done at birth and cutting off and castrating somebody under the age of 18 and pumping them full of chemicals that stop puberty, decrease bone density, make them so that they cannot have children ever. It's basically irreversible. Even though the CDC has now come out and approved detransitioning, said this is a real thing. We've really caused a pandemic. We've really done harm. We're now going to honor these people that want to detransition. He's ignorant. He's willfully ignorant. And I agree with Jesse when he says, this is not what people want to vote for. You're here for some kind of a circus. There are people that run for office just to create circuses.
What concerns me most is that CAIR now,
CAIR,
right, is now putting up hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into U.S. elections.
Oh yeah,
to get people like him, like Mondani, to run for local office. So that's your school board, your city council, your mayor, your state rep, your state senate, your judges.
and understand. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And for U.S. Congress.
They're not going to look and sound like him. They're going to be sympathizers of him, because the left is going to hold hands with radical Islam and the Democrat socialists. That's what the left is going to do. So all these people, whether they package themselves as a former school teacher or whatnot, they are sympathizers to this way of life. And that is going to be how they're going to get them into your neck of the woods. Because while this might stand in Michigan because of their, the people that live there, it wouldn't be in small town America. But there is a leftist somewhere in your community that will run and sympathize with this.
Can you imagine though, let's say, because Sarasota School Board has flipped.
Yes.
Can you imagine one of them is a sympathizer?
Like the one that was on Rachel Maddow the other day?
Yes, who is backed by
Mondani.
And who is, that also means that they are backed by the Muslim Brotherhood because they are backed by CAIR, CAIR.
Mm-hmm.
Came in because we put, for example, let's say we put prayer in schools. You can bring a Bible to school. Now they do an amendment or some kind of what is that? Like a
policy.
A policy,
right.
For policy in the school board. Sorry, I've not been on that side of my brain. I've been on campaign side. So like policy side, hold. Campaign side, full go. Okay, so if they put into a policy that you can, pray 5 times a day, or that they want, to implement some kind of Muslim, or because they're not going to say Islamic, they're going to say Muslim,
right.
Muslim teachings within our curriculum.
Because then it's just a faith.
Or host like a Ramadan like cookout or something where all the kids can
halal meals.
Right. Like if that starts to happen and pick up, then what? Now it's infiltrated into your schools, and we're already experiencing one, lack of teachers, which we're hearing.
Lack of students.
But that too. There's a lack of students. So that's where I was getting at.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not choosing public schools anymore because there are crazies that are sitting on our school boards.
Yeah.
But when you have less than 10% show up to midterms, why are you going to complain? But this is what is going to be in your backyard. This is what is going to be teaching your next generation of the people in your county, the people that will inherit the county, the people that will work in your local grocery store, the people that will work at your gas station, at your local fast food restaurant, or, in your local businesses, like doctor's offices and things of that nature. So you have to be wary of the people that you put in office.
Well, and this is why, holding on for dear life coming into November, the only thing we have to be optimistic really here in the state of Florida is that, hopefully through somebody like Byron Donalds, that is the stop guard with how crazy your school boards can get, because they will try. But then you've got the state law that they have to abide by. And thank God we've made headwind in the last 8 years there. So we'll keep all eyes out. But you just have to understand, as Allie said, CAIR, CAIR, which has been deemed a terrorist organization here in the state of Florida. Don't know what's taking the federal government so long. I know he signed an executive order, but we should put that stuff in serious writing, like not in pencil, in ink.
Right.
And I mean, they're coming into your local school boards, your local county commissions, your state legislature offices, because they're trying to, this is how they want to infiltrate. Again, they're not assimilation. They do not believe in assimilation. They believe in conquering. That is part of their book. Speaking of their book, now Al-Sayed is going to make the argument that the conversation we just had here, the discussions we feel about this, it's white supremacy. Take a listen.
You'd give them back their Air Force, their Navy.
No, I'd go
Because the nuke program's
back
buried under a mountain of rubble.
And we actually had nuclear containment. Now, Jesse, you like to, I mean, look, I understand selective memory about history, but we had a JCPOA that was well negotiated, that actually had nuclear non-proliferation far more securely than what we have right now after having gone to war for the better part of 6 months.
Yeah, I like the fact that the nuke program's buried under a mountain of rubble. They can't even get access to it, but that's me. I think we'll figure it out. The thing you said about...
So let's just stop there. So, sure. Jesse, wait. I understand you're not good at math. I get that. I'll give you that. But science, we got to talk about science, okay?
Yeah.
You understand that, like, nuclear material doesn't just go away because you buried it under a mountain of rubble. You understand they can still go back and bury it out, right?
Yeah, we're watching it from Space Force.
So
and anybody
we're not any more secure than we were back then.
Okay, let's move on. You said getting rid of Sharia law was white supremacy. Let's roll the tape. Go.
I don't have to tell you that the same exact forces that drove native peoples from their land 2 centuries ago, destroyed Black Wall Street a century ago, bombed a building decades ago, and tried to ban Sharia law not a decade ago, that those forces are alive and well today.
So getting rid of Sharia law is white supremacy. Can you explain that one?
Do you know what canon law is? Jesse, I assume you're Christian, right?
Yeah, tell me.
All right, so canon law is the name for Christian law. I don't begrudge you your right to practice your faith as you choose. I don't know why the idea that I could practice my faith as I choose is a problem. Nobody is trying to push Sharia law on anyone else, just like I hope nobody is trying to push canon law on anybody else, because we live in an America where you should have the freedom of your religion. So the idea that you have somebody like Tommy Tuberville, right, who, barely was good at coaching football, is out here trying to ban Sharia law when there's less than 1% of the Muslim community in America, as if somehow Muslims are out here trying to push Sharia law, that seems to me to be deliberately targeting the Muslim community.
This is the thing that frustrates me about him bringing up canon law. Anybody who is familiar with this, and it's predominantly in the Jewish churches, but it is, Jack Hibbs was on Jesse Waters shortly after this, Pastor Jack Hibbs, and he said, canon law is something that you use in the church organization. It's how your church infrastructure operates.
Right.
It's not meant for your parishioners and for the general public. Now, Sharia law
meant for government to implement.
And it's not even meant for Christians to implement. A Christian would, do you know why Al-Sayed does not fall under canon law? Because it does not require a Christian or a Jew to go out and push that onto other people. Sharia law is not the same. They don't expect just people within their mosque to live by it.
Right.
Why else would they be seeking out all of these different pockets of places in the United States and trying to implement Sharia law? You don't need your own courts. You've got the courts of the United States. Right. You don't see churches and synagogues having their own court system. No. You have an issue, you go to the pastor, you go to the deacon, you go wherever, Catholic Church, whatever. They're not talking about going to the mosque and taking up their problems. They want Sharia law courts. This is like watching a really cynical Obama.
It's bad because Sharia law is government. It's government implemented.
And it's courts.
Right, but it's government implemented, and it's not just in courts. It's everywhere. It's in everything. It's in food production. It's in all of their businesses. It's in their schools. It's literally intertwined in everything that they do and touch.
And you cannot serve two masters. The United States Constitution is not compatible with Sharia law.
Right.
At
and
all.
These same people will cry separation of church and state like he just tried to do.
Yeah.
Which is not the same thing.
It isn't.
It's
And
not
again,
the same.
there's no Christian, Catholic, or Jewish places of faith that are looking to set up their own court systems, their own tribunal court systems. That is exactly what Sharia law implements, is their own court systems. They don't just want their Muslim brothers and sisters to follow a certain set of rules or guidelines or suggestions as faith. They want the right to prosecute and stone and kill in mercy killings, as they call it, honor killings to be able to happen. That's Sharia law. Look it up. This is crazy. And the fact that he didn't, how many of us were screaming at our TV when Jesse Waters was on there? Want to close with this before we go to commercial break?
Who is running against?
Oh no, we have a surprise. Sorry. While we play this surprise, we will bring that information of who's running against him. Take a look. Oh, full on warning label.
Yes.
Language
Label.
alert. It's not your out of pocket.
So,
ladies.
sex with goats. Are you for or against having sex with goats, Abdul?
Well, it all depends on the goat. You know, it gotta have that je ne sais quoi, you know, a little junk in the trunk, if you will. I like them big-ass goat butts, Jesse, and I cannot lie. And my other brothers can't deny.
Okay, we're going to have to cut you off right there, Abdul.
Who made that? Oh my gosh. Il Donald Trump. That is a parody account, guys. And if you can't laugh at some things in as bleak of a time as we're in, my gosh. Do we find out is it Rogers?
Yes, I think it is.
Not Kenny. I'll have Kenny Rogers.
gosh.
Mike
I
Rogers.
think only you went to Kenny.
I did. We're trying to figure out 100% Mike Rogers
Mike
running
Rogers.
against Al Said.
Vote Mike Rogers. We cannot have
That
whatever that is in Congress.
no, can't do it. By the way, thank you to our producer, Zach, for keeping us on our toes with funny videos that we would never find elsewhere. I love that you do that to our audience. Thank you, guys. One last story before we head to commercial break. We kind of teased this earlier. The CDC officially recognizes, guys, not that we care what the CDC thinks, but if they're actually recognizing it, it's big. The detransitioning as a medical condition, so that way we can clear a path of care for the harmful gender transition procedures. So we're admitting now that cutting off healthy body parts of young prepubescent boys and girls
And
was probably
pumping
not a
them.
good idea.
And pumping them full of castration chemicals is not a good idea. Thank
not.
you for Bobby Kennedy and those that have been confirmed and elected to these positions for finally putting it out there like that.
Many people come to mind. January Littlejohn, who's
Yeah.
fought hard for this to be
Chloe
a thing.
Cole.
Chloe Cole. You should read
Many,
their
many
stories.
others. Many others. Many others.
Trailblazers. Thank you, guys. We're going to take a quick break here to let you find out how you can get your Liberty cigars. And we'll be right back with more Out of Pocket after this.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.
Welcome back to Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. Make sure you follow us on social media as well as follow at Real Allie Lachey, at Michelle Posey, and at Out of Pocket Live. I'm dying to know.
Dearborn pushes ban on eating in public during Ramadan after ban on pride, Christian, and Jewish identity.
I can't eat anything in public in Dearborn, Michigan. Anything.
Oh my God. This is wild. For anyone wondering what happens when a Muslim majority takes power, look no further than Dearborn, Michigan, where the mayor is currently on a speed run to challenge constitutional rights and erase the division between mosque and state. Get that? Mosque and state. It's as the Muslim population has grown, the right to representation for gays has quickly disappeared. First, with the vote to remove pride flags from any public spaces, then with the decision to deny nativity scenes or Hanukkah menorahs during the holidays, and now with the latest Sharia inspired attempt to prevent non Muslims from eating in public during Ramadan, a 40-day fasting period in which the followers of Muhammad don't eat when the sun is up and carb overload at sunset. Dearborn has already extended the hours businesses are allowed to operate during Ramadan, but the call from residents to ban eating in public takes things one step further.
What in the world? What in this was COVID was the like dry run. Like will you comply? Because they are seeing what pockets of our country did and will, and coming soon to a, I guess, city near you.
Wow.
Try to tell me when I can eat.
But try to implement anything Christian.
The Daniel fast.
And like heads are exploding.
Yeah.
People are screaming in the streets and businesses are being
Merry Christmas
looted. Like you get like the FU face from people when you say Merry Christmas sometimes. But like this is insane.
It is insane.
Oof.
Well, so is our next story. But we want to discuss
that's Sharia law. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. Because there is such a divide that we're seeing going on, not just in this country, but with women. So the one video that you sent me that I think we'll start with is sort of this question of, would you kill to protect your child? Because people, what do people ask you as a mama bear? Like, what would you do to protect your child?
Right. Well, so this kind of is like, it's kind of like lead up to this is because over the last couple, I've not been news in the news. I not news focused. I've been campaign focused. So I'm worried about like all of that, volunteers and all that stuff. So I'm not really focused on what's going on in the news. But the Lindsay Clancy story has come across. And because I was on OAN on Friday, it kind of came across as well. And so I did a little more digging. And the more I watched and the more I looked and the more I saw on social media, the more information I got, I was like, this reminds me of this video that came out a while back. And I shared it with you, and I was like, we have to talk about this and compare the two because this is incredible.
So we're going to get to
a good way.
We're going to get to the Lindsay Clancy story for those of you that maybe haven't been following this. I think it happened in 2023. That we're not new. It's not new to talk about mothers or parents who have murdered their children and families, whatnot. But this one has really got people split because what Allie's talking about. Let's first watch this video. Of course, this is a little bit of an older video. I want you to take a listen to it and tell me what you think. We'll respond in a moment. Okay.
Would you kill for your child?
No. I'm willing to do whatever it takes as long as it's legal. I mean, it'd take a lot. Like, that's a big thing to do. Would I kill for my kid? Yeah. Oh. Kill somebody? Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. If I don't, who will?
I almost died having them, so I'll kill for them.
Mama bear mode goes on real hard with me, so in the right circumstances, yeah, if I'm gonna save my kid's life, I'm gonna do it.
I'm not just gonna go out and randomly kill people.
Absolutely. No. Maybe? Is that an answer? Maybe.
Would you kill for your child to protect them?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I would kill for my children, but I do think I would be mouthy enough that somebody might murder me standing up for my children.
Somebody was like physically trying to harm her, I would just start swinging. There'd be no words. We don't have time for that.
You don't think these things through when you do them, right? It's your mom instinct, your mama bear will come out.
If he was in danger, I would protect him, mama bear style.
Yes, 100% yes, absolutely. Come for my kids, you better pray for your life because no. This and that is it's okay. I like several thoughts in my head. I'm sorry, I tweaked out. But So then there's a woman who recently, I think there was a little comparison. She ran into a building that was on fire where her 3 children were in. She saved all 3 of her children and ended up in a coma because she had like 4th-degree burns.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Now let's play this next clip.
This is outside of the Lindsay Clancy murder trial.
The system failed her. She was begging for help, but no one was there. I don't know if us being here will make her feel any better, but I mean, she's living in hell right now.
Just wanted to support Lindsay and just say it could be, you know, one of my sister-in-laws, it could be one of my best friends, and it could be me. So just here to support.
We are hearing her. We see that she tried everything, and I really do believe that she went into a state of psychosis.
So Lindsay Clancy, there's a couple of things, and we'll talk about this in great detail, but she murdered her 3 children, all under the age of 6, I believe. Murdered them with the stretchy resist-a-bands that we use sometimes at home. So it took a lot to strangle all 3 children and put them face down in the basement of their house as she sent the husband to go pick up dinner and run a few errands. And then she proceeded to go upstairs, attempt to slit her own wrists, and jump out of a 2nd-story building, to which she fell. And because of snow, they think that that's probably what saved her life. And the cold weather is what slowed her vital signs. She's now paralyzed and in a wheelchair, but she did survive. So her husband comes home, finds this mess. There is a 911 call. We're not going to play it on here. But and all of that is horrendous. So now you've got her facing trial, standing trial for murder. And what those people in the pink shirts, those women, are saying is, I first thought they were saying, listen, when you look at some of the substance behind, which we'll talk about, the amount of medications that she was put on for postpartum depression, the amount of attempts that she had to get help, the amount of people that kind of, even her own mom that really did, or her husband's mom, I'm not sure which mom it was, that didn't really intervene enough. Like, there were warning signs, and how much of a red flag of help can you ask for before something happens? And I can be a little compassionate about what she's gone through. But to say, as some of these in the pink shirt were saying, Allie, that she shouldn't stand trial for murder.
None of them are out there for these babies. These babies were not medicated. If I'm not mistaken, didn't she line up the 3 kids and do this one by one?
So the 3rd one had to stand there. There's been testimony in the trial that the 3rd one, I don't know if it's her psychologist that she spoke to recently, he said that the 3rd one had to stand there
and watch.
I think back to oh my gosh, who's the guy out west that murdered his pregnant wife, 4-month-old pregnant wife,
Peterson,
and put, not him too, but and put the 2 daughters, babies, after he killed them, in the oil well because that's where he worked. What is the name? I'll find it. Nobody said that he shouldn't stand trial for murder for whatever duress he claimed he was under.
There weren't women or men standing outside of his murder trial saying that we see ourselves in you, sir. We can relate.
Now there is a pocket of men, boys, who are saying if their significant other or girlfriend can at all, I guess, have any kind of sympathy towards Clancy, that they're breaking up because they don't want that. There are women who are like, listen, postpartum depression is a real thing. I just went through this. Listen, the hospital,
that's this part.
My daughter took a questionnaire and answered a few questions. And they said, well, if you want to, without even looking at like whatever the score was, if you want to, just so you know, we can discharge you with XYZ with medication.
Without her seeing a psychologist.
She was like, I'm good.
Without her seeing a psychologist. Now, again, I feel like we're going to talk in circles about this whole thing because there's just so much.
Yeah,
there's just so much. Yes, postpartum depression is real.
Yes.
Yes, postpartum psychosis is real. However, it's 1 in 1,000.
Psychosis is real.
Psychosis is very real. However, a psychotic episode, normally, if you're not bipolar, or if you're not bipolar and aren't on medication, and if you don't have personality disorders, I think it's called oh my gosh, PID. I think that's a personality identity disorder is how they changed it now. If you don't have that, right? If you don't have that and you aren't on medication, those episodes can last long, right? They're long episodes.
Right.
A psychosis most of the time is not like it takes a long time to strangle someone.
They estimated 4 or 5 minutes per child.
And a lot of effort.
Because it's a stretchy band.
And then to hear the child cry, because you're not doing this in quiet, and you like there's 2 children that are watching you do this. So they're crying and screaming as they're watching this happen. One, because they don't know what they're seeing, but what they're seeing is traumatic because somewhere on the inside of you, you know that what you're viewing is not okay.
Right.
It even happens in children that are being molested and raped. They don't know what's happening, but they know that what is happening is wrong.
Right.
It is an innate feeling. And so that's how I know. So this is just beyond. It is beyond. I can't even comprehend it beyond. And I get it. We can sympathize. But to actually see videos of women going on social media and saying that they see themselves, same, Lindsay, same, while they're holding their infants.
Throwing ice at their baby. Like letting their baby cry, like, same, I'm tired of this too. Same, I'm tired of this.
What is happening? And then I kind of want to bring you all to something. So there seems to be some sort of, perhaps, an epidemic. 15 mothers with 17 dead children, and only 5 children have survived, all in 2026. What is happening? So what I also want to touch on, which I think you do too, is the medical industry.
Yeah.
When you have an industry like psychology and psychiatry, who have all come together to say that it is healthy to cut off boys' and girls' body parts and pump them full of castration chemicals that will forever change their minds and their bodies. A lot of them are committing suicide. A lot of them are committing homicide.
Check your school shooters.
And then you also have those same psychologists and psychiatrists prescribe medications that could counterindicate each other, meaning the side effects of one can counterindicate the other, can cause the other medication to amplify their side effects, and combine them together, and you only have an hour to have a conversation.
Well,
how many times have you and I have had like our kind of meltdown moments, right? Everybody has these
together, yeah. Absolutely.
How many times have we had this and it's only been an hour?
We're lucky if it's a day only.
You need more than an hour to have a conversation about what is bothering you, and you need it more than once a week.
Yeah.
And a psychiatrist will only see you for about 30 minutes just to talk about the medication.
Because that's all the insurance will cover.
So, yes, she deserves to be on trial. Yes, she probably deserves the death penalty.
She wanted it anyway.
Right. She jumped out, but I think it was probably so she didn't have to go through court.
According to her, she had heard a voice that was telling her that her children were in danger from how she was in her current state. So kill them and then kill yourself so you could all be in heaven with God.
No.
That's
no.
That's her thought.
So didn't her psychologist say that he didn't think that was true?
No, there are people that are pushing back and saying that how do you know she you sure you didn't tell her that she heard voices? And he's saying, no, she said that she heard a voice.
Oh.
Has she ever talked about hearing a voice before? No. So, I mean,
Okay, well,
there's tons of literature out there on the trial. Here, and I agree with you, Allie.
Anyway.
Here's the thing. I think we can be two things at the same time.
Yes.
We can have sympathy for what she's gone through. And we're going to get to the list of medications and some of that and hear how that plays into you, Mom, closer to this, because this is not far off from you. But we will talk about that and how she was probably failed in some way medically. But then you also have to ask, well, what does success look like medically? And how much of this is a medical thing? And how much of this is like a social contagion? Because you've got now women standing behind the podium of the governor in Massachusetts applauding that you can have an abortion, right? You can kill that baby right up until it's born. Some
Right.
places after post-birth abortions, there are some places that want up to a certain number of months after birth to decide whether or not this is truly a baby you want to cherish or something that you really want your old lifestyle back. When you've got people wanting to abort babies that are full term, you guys, we're not talking about for the life of the mother.
That's killing.
It is killing. So where do you draw the line? Because people used to tell us, no, don't talk about it's killing a baby and it's taking a life. Nobody would ever say that. Well,
Now we have hundreds of or thousands of women now.
and we're not, let's
This
be
is crazy.
honest, we are not, and I don't know we who we're talking about. I'm talking about myself. I've been guilty of it. I'm talking about culture. I'm talking about media. I'm talking about families, everybody. There's enough blame to go around. We do not give parenting the weight and the, I guess the gravity and the depth that it should carry. Everybody is about self now. And that's why we started putting children in front of screens, because whatever we can do to get a little bit of my time back. Listen, I don't remember my grandmother talking about the me time that she got. And I'm not saying that was fair to do to them, but there was an understanding that you just you did put yourself last for your children. It's not that you can't have self-care, but this idea that because you're so run down and you're so bogged down and being a parent is so ruthless sometimes and so selfless that somehow you're going to get a participation trophy for it. That's not it.
And it's not like her husband didn't try everything. She
Well,
had a nanny.
But there are those. There's the camp that's coming out and saying they think the husband played a role in it.
That's bullshit.
You guys, it's all over social media. I'm
That's
just
crazy.
and so you're right. I want to listen because we're going to get to how crazy this is in a minute.
God.
Take a listen.
I can't.
This perked up my ears because how many of us out there wanted the right to refuse an injection or a vaccine, right? I'm talking to all of my Maha people out there. Okay, listen to the way Clancy's lawyer is having to argue and push back for clarity on how they're blaming her medication hesitancy. If you ever go to the doctor and you're like, I don't want to take that medication, I'm good. I want to try diet and exercise first. Okay. They kind of paint you like you're crazy. Listen to this. Take a listen.
Re-ask that question.
I'm okay.
Okay.
So over time, Ms. Clancy has avoided taking medications.
She's what?
Avoided taking medications.
Says who?
The description she gave me.
She told you that?
My awareness from my evaluation is that she resists taking medications. And for example,
No. Tell me what you mean by she resists taking medications.
there are individuals in this world who do not want to take medications, and I think she described that she is one of them.
You know she saw Dr. Tufts because she apparently was anxious, right?
Yes.
Prior to that, other than having anxiety about public speaking as a nurse in nursing school, and after she had one of her children, she didn't have any psychiatric history of medications, right?
She had not taken medications, but she had had a lifelong degree of anxiety. It hadn't been at the level of disorder, but she had had
lifelong.
Yes.
Okay. How about in grammar school, high school, college? Did she have difficulty that she was anxious?
So what I was saying is that anxiety can drive people, but she had a lot of anxiety and she was hardworking, and the anxiety helped her to be hardworking. But when it comes to medications...
Okay, hold on. Mr. Reddington, go ahead. Doctor, finish the question.
But when it comes to medications, she described that she didn't want to take medications. And an example was the time that after the birth of her second child,
that sertraline had been prescribed, but she chose to get through her anxiety and depression by exercising. And that is something that people do. But it also highlights that in this case, she didn't want to be taking medications. And I think that we also...
So this is why I want to focus on that, because we're going to show you the list of medications that she was on. Take a look at this. Every medication that she was on, that she filled leading up to the murder of her children. I don't know if we can put that up there.
Do you know how long she was on them, or when, like the timeline she was prescribed them?
32 prescriptions written and filled within a 4-month time. This is a timeline of events. The defense showed this medication list documenting 32 prescription fills between September of 22 and January of 23, with prescriptions changing repeatedly. Her final listed prescription was filled one day before the killings. Her psychiatric nurse practitioner who treated her testified that Clancy was also regularly messaging her about medications, at times saying she took less than the prescribed dose or wanted to switch because of side effects. So she was trying. This is why when people talk about, listen, yes, she deserves to go on trial because she murdered somebody, but she murdered somebody's. But we can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Like, we have to deal with this fact that I believe, as I'm listening to some of this, that this may have been somebody who sounds a lot like me or you when they go into the hospital or into the doctor's office and says, wait, let me try a more holistic method of dealing with this. I don't like these side effects. I can't take care of my children. I don't like how this makes me feel. But now, because I advocate for myself like that, the medical field at large might feel like you have medication or vaccine hesitancy. And now that could be used to message future generations to say, see what happens if you don't take your pills.
Yeah, but see what happens when you take them and you don't allow your body to like digest and get used to the chemical that is being re-put into your body. 32?
Why is her hesitancy being the thing that's being on the chopping block here? Why isn't it the side effects of the actual medication?
Right. Can we talk about, and that is what I think is missing in this whole thing, is that the again, yes, she needs to be on trial. Yes, she needs to be held accountable for what she did to her children, regardless of what the circumstances were. However, medication played a big part, I believe. And especially within the time frame that she was prescribed and she was taking them, and how often they were changed. Usually they don't change them, right? They space them out. They don't change them that often because you have to get rid of it out of your system. Sometimes it takes up to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, sometimes 3-4 months in order for your system to actually get used to what is happening. And then you can gauge, you have to be on some kind of medication for at least a year before you can switch. Or you're monitored, or you come in more often to have conversations. Like, again, doing these 30-minute conversations with a psychiatrist and then an hour once a week to see your therapist, which is a counselor or a psychologist, is not helping you with your anxiety disorder or your depression or whatever it is that you have an issue with. You have to be under ongoing care. Now, the side effects need to be talked about, because if the side effects are more amplified, whether you can drink something, like there's one medication that's on the market right now where you can't drink grapefruit juice because it counterindicates, it makes the medication not work.
Right.
So if you don't know that going into taking this, and you drink the whatever it is, or you eat whatever it is that makes the medicine not work, how are you supposed to know that if you're not told? And also, why are the psychologists and the psychiatrists not on trial?
Well, and they have had to testify.
They've testified,
but this is just like the Michael Jackson trial. I feel like
not on trial.
No, but I feel like they may eventually have to be. And I think the pharmaceutical industry, which check the limits and liability there, they may have to talk about this, because this dials into more of a big question with these the medications that you're put on for psychosis and for other things, even transitioning children and minors and young adults. Look at the increase in whether you want to talk about school shootings, you want to talk about mass shootings, you want to talk about psychosis, suicide. It's a very, very real thing. I found this next clip, though, guys, because you can watch a lot of the trial, especially on X, the little snippets. But this was pretty interesting because I was looking for some sort of now that she's not on all of these medications, I was looking for some sort of remorse. Obviously, she's in a wheelchair because she's a paraplegic now, but they are talking a bit about the autopsy. We're not going to play all of it, but I want you to hear a portion of it. Mom did have a reaction. Take a look.
Yellow exercise band found with Dawson. Here's the pajama pants. Pajama shirt. And then the pink robe. These markers, one exhibit.
They may be admitted. Thank you.
And then Dawson's clothing. You have dinosaur underwear for the record. Yellow exercise band found with Dawson.
I think it's just a replay now. My God.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think we got the whole part.
Oh my God. I can't.
She broke down, and that's exactly what she said. She said, I can't.
I
And they
can't.
called a recess.
I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know how someone, a mom, I don't know how a mom could do that. I just don't.
But as somebody who, we all have women and in our lives, that young and old, that we know go through trouble. We go through it together. You know, we have rough times in our life. We go through divorces. We go through losses of our life. We go through birthing new babies. And so I just don't know what the answer is for a solution here, because what I'm afraid is going to happen is that we're going to demonize young women who are going through postpartum depression, some type of psychosis, and that's not going to help them get the help that they need. We might even demonize the medical industry. So if they're not the answer, then what is, and how do we find it? We might demonize the fathers. Are they not being supportive enough? The in-laws, are they not being supportive enough?
It's a multifaceted issue. It is a multifaceted issue. Why it's now, like why it's taking place now, we're all talking about it right now, is weird, because it's just crazy.
There's just, listen, there's like this uptick in evil.
Yeah.
In our world.
Yeah.
And this is why, if you don't believe in this, I really don't care, because there's an uptick in evil. And what's happened every time evil has come in this world and tried to take out Jesus, take out Moses. I mean, they went for the kids. And I think that there is an evil that's afoot. And this is why, the Bible talks about looking for signs of the times and not looking to the world for answers. I don't know.
Also why we're instructed as a Christian to take every thought captive and give it to Jesus. If you
That's hard to do.
Thought in your mind that's telling you that your children are in danger and you need to go kill them and then kill yourself so that you all can be in heaven, you need to capture that thought and say, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke that. Because what?
And then I think there's also something to be said about people around you taking what you're saying serious, because you can be really busy with work and really busy with bills and be going through your own struggles and not really hear somebody else's cry for some type of help, and then it's too late.
I know there are a lot of us that have been on the floor of our living room, our bedroom, our bathroom, our closet, and felt like the world was ending, and have felt like your life is over, and how much easier it would be if you were no longer here. I know there are so many of us that have thought about that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not right or wrong, whatever. There is something within you sometimes that is like, I have to keep going. Or Is it your children? Is there something that you can hold on to that tells you you have to keep going? And I think sometimes when you are on the depths of medication that some people can be on, that pump your brain full of chemicals where your brain does not function like that anymore, where you can't logically reason with yourself. I think that's something that needs to be talked about too.
Yeah.
And maybe one, but three. And I'm not saying, not excusing it. I'm just saying, like,
That's why I can't understand.
Episode 1, 3.
I can't understand for the life of me. And again, it's, to be fair, there have been men that have murdered their wives and their children as well. And it's a depth of evil that I don't know we're ever going to grasp our head around. But as it's being talked about, and you're going to hear about it, as Allie and I were both like very ready to like make certain comments, and then I would always hear like the other side, and I'm like, there's got to be a fine line somewhere. Yes, you should have to be punished for your actions, but there is a different conversation that needs to be had as well. Absolutely. Now, there was a video that Spencer Pratt had done, and I really wanted to get to it, but it's like 5 minutes long. We're up on a hard break. But what he does say, and I'll encourage you guys to go view it on your own. He does say we've lost our damn minds. The Lindsay Clancy mass psychosis proves that there's a lot of people who need to have their Wi-Fi taken away. But this psychosis started many years before TikTok. TikTok now has a trend, whereas we said before, women are now kind of saying, I am Lindsay Clancy, basically, like I'm also overworked. I'm also tired of being a mom. And the kids are kind of screaming in the background and they're like, shut up. We've all been there. We've all been like overly stimulated with our children or in our households or even with work, whatever. But you have to wonder, and you've showed me, you've shared many videos of that show what screen time and the constant scrolling and the addiction and the, just the dopamine hits that we're getting from this new technology that we carry around with us. And you just wonder. But also he like reposted this. And with the repost, he posted there's some women that are in the trial room with her. And a few of them have like these giant smiles on their face. They have like black eyes. It's very weird looking. And he goes, the Clancy clan are the modern day Manson family. I can see that. There's a difference between having some kind of grace in terms of let's figure out what went wrong so it doesn't happen again. And then like almost this idolization, like they used to do when Manson stood trial.
It's really weird.
Guys.
It is very weird. And there's, it's fun. Well, we are up against a hard break, but we will catch you guys here again tomorrow, same time, same place. Our new time, 6 p.m., guys. So grab yourself a plate of dinner and have a seat. We'd love to get through our day together, our evening together with you guys. And check on your friends and call your mama. For real. And call your grandma too. And your daddy. My Lord, this was heavy. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Go watch something funny. Yeah. we love you guys. Take care. Make sure you guys keep your mic open. And stay out of pocket and out of jail. That's right. Orange is good.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.